Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan Battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the Fused Fighters Challenge for the Fighting Legend Goku GT Edition. So obviously some new challenges have come out for the Fighting Legend Goku GT, and we are going to be taking them on respectfully with whichever team we can realistically. In terms of this team, I kind of went for a little bit of a like extreme DB Heroes cross, Gogeta type team. I don't know, just thought it would be a lot of fun to try all these units out. Obviously, we recently got the Extreme Z Awakening for the physical LR Goku and Vegeta Angel, so it's going to be interesting to see how well they perform. We've got the Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. He's going to link up with the LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Goku. We're going to have Whirus kind of just float around. We're going to have Janembu kind of just float around. And yeah, we're pretty much just going to see what kind of performance we can coax out of all of these units and see how well they can do. And also get a bit of an early look at how well the Gogeta unit does, because I think that'll be pretty interesting overall. So yeah, nothing too crazy with this team build. It's a very safe team build, very good units selected here. I felt like kind of showing off a little bit here rather than doing the bare minimum, as it always seems to be with some of these videos. So I thought we'd run kind of like a funky little kind of cross team, and then we can talk about options later on. Obviously, Fused Fighters doesn't really have a secondary lead beyond the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but you can use pretty much a fusion or a Patara based unit and kind of go or build from there. Generally speaking, I prefer using the fusion because it allows me to use the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, which I think is a pretty cool unit, so I think it's really fun to use them. Then of course we also have the good old Int Gotenks. Int Gotenks is still a unit I really enjoy using, whenever I can, basically. I just find him to be such a entertaining unit to use. I think he's just a lot of fun, and he's just really cool to utilize, basically. So yeah, in terms of our team, that's kind of all of our units. Obviously you can go, like I said, Patara or Fusion if you don't have the Fused Fighters lead. Otherwise you get the perfect opportunity to use both if you do have the Fused Fighters lead. In terms of this team, obviously we took a friend Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta because very powerful units. We've got the transformation. They're going to be linked up with the Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Also a very powerful unit. A unit that needs to keep his supers up, but a unit that's powerful nonetheless, and he's going to do a lot of good damage alongside them, especially when we transform. We're going to have a really nice pairing between the two of them. Then we have on the other rotation, we're going to have the Tech LR Gogeta alongside the physical LR Gogeta. Now, physical LR Gogeta, you'll hear my thoughts in the review later on, or at some point, or if you're watching this a bit late, you can go click on my thoughts in the review. But yeah, essentially, I think his EZA was alright. I don't think it was as spectacular as it could have been. I think they did him a little bit dirty, but he still makes a very cool pairing alongside the Super Gogeta. Both of them obviously sharing pretty much all their links, which is always a lot of fun when you've got units that link up so well. And of course a lot of healing between the two of them. You've got a full heal from the physical LR, you've got a 30% heal from the Tech 1. The Tech 1 lets you foresee super attacks, obviously nullifies unarmed super attacks as well. 30% damage reduction, which is always pretty good, basically. So yeah, overall just very good. Very solid as a unit. You have to just be a bit careful with the timing of your fusion on the tech one, but alongside the physical one, especially now with the EZA, they make a very, very powerful pairing. Very strong, offensively. Defensively, still probably a bit on the weaker side, to be honest with you, but more than fine. More than fine, especially for the Goku GT edition. I think they're both great. And between the two of them, they can do a lot of damage. They do a decent amount of damage in their base forms, but they can do a lot of havoc when they both transform, doing huge damage between the two of them, which is always great. Then we have Janembu. So Janembu, just a cool unit to kind of just float around. A lot of people obviously gained a lot of respect for him from the Martian Power challenge. But overall he's very, very solid. That medium chance of evasion, coupled with the guarding all attacks, coupled with the stacking defense, coupled with the 13% HP recovery, is all really, really strong. And he's got fused fighters, so he links decently on the team. It's not like he's going to share crazy links, but he gets his super attacks off, and that's realistically all you kind of need from this unit. Then obviously, floating around, as I mentioned before, the Intgo tanks. He's a lot of fun to use, just a cool unit. In his Super Saiyan form, he greatly raises defense for one turn, has a high chance of that defense, and an additional high chance of another 50% defense, which generally leaves him in a good place. He also has a chance of launching 3 super attacks in one turn, which I think we actually see in this video, so he can do really, really well. Obviously, if you're in a tight spot, you can also transform him to Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and he will also do just fine in the Super Saiyan 3 form, especially once he builds a couple stacks. You're gonna have a pretty solid time with him. So by the way, physical LR Gotenks at 100% with full level 10 links, taking 50k from Great Ape Monkey. Not too great. Like I said, I think they could have done a little bit more with their EZA, I just think, compared to the Vegito. But we'll talk about that. You'll see that in my review video if you are interested. But otherwise the team runs more than fine. We're never too concerned at any stage. Like I said, we've got heals, so we're not too concerned about taking damage. There are slight opportunities where we could die in one hit, kind of, but generally speaking, we're more than fine. So that's pretty much the entire premise of the team build. Obviously, if you are, let's say like me, you don't have the fused fighters, you can very easily run a Patara based team. Plenty great Patara units will be fine in here. You've got Strength, Goku and Vegeta Angel. You've got the Int, recently EZA'd Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta. You've got the Tech Kel and Caulifla. You've got the physical Kefla, you've got Strength Kefla, who does fine. You've got tons of decent Patara options to utilize. Even Tech Vegeta, to a certain extent, will be fine floating in this rotation, like generally speaking, more than okay. If you do have most of the units, then you can obviously run the Super Saiyan God Boys as well. Super duper powerful units, very, very strong. And if you've got the Super Saiyan 4 units as your lead, then you can actually run some pretty cool units like the Super 17 or Piccolo fused with Kami. You can run some really interesting rotations pretty much, and I think that's something that's really, really cool with the fused fighters category, is that it includes units like Maju, it includes units like Piccolo fused with Kami, and I think those are some really good changes and just make the category a lot more fun to utilize. And it makes having units like the Super Saiyan 4s really, really fun because running them and running their team is actually really quite enjoyable. So for me, I think it was really, really good. Obviously, just as a special mention, Wirth, really, really solid unit. Obviously, he gives us that category allies buff of attack and defense of 30%. He also has a high chance of evasion. He's got pretty great defense after he fires off his super attacks and gets all his buffs. So Wirth, just as like a special mention, really, really, really strong. Really, really fun unit to utilize. So just really, really enjoyed using him. and had a lot of fun. So yeah, overall, really good stuff. And yeah, I think overall the team, the whole run, everything was more than fine. Like I said, it's a pretty strong category. It's a pretty wide and diverse category as well. So like I said, you can run Fusion, you can run Fused Fighters itself, you can run Time Limits, you can run Patara. A lot of that will cover enough of what you need to really get things going and to get through the event, basically. But yeah, so team ran pretty smoothly. Obviously, this int phase against this int Super Saiyan 4 Goku is really simple. We obviously got the Dokkan attack, which is great, but we also have a very high power physical lineup, pretty much. So yeah, for the most part, we just had a pretty chilled time, really. Didn't have to use any items the whole run through, which is always something that's pretty, I want to say something that's pretty dope. It's always pretty nice to not use any items. I guess I could chalk it down as a no item run, but not really needed. Put it in the thumbnail title, clear it up, no item run, yeah boys, but no, not really needed. Yeah, basically pretty smooth team selection. You have a very good selection of units here, so realistically speaking, I can't really say too much. Like, you've got such a nice selection of units to take on this event, and such a good mix of leaders that you can utilize. That's really not the world's biggest issue taking on this stage, at least from my perspective. But yeah, it's just going to depend on yourself and how you handle things, and yeah, what your box is, obviously. But you should be fine. We're gonna skip ahead to the end of the fight. Obviously, we're now facing Tech Goku. Took a super attack, which allowed us to heal up using the third year LR, which is pretty cool. A lot of fun, obviously, there. And we've obviously got them linked up as well, which is really cool. So we've got both up now, which is really rad. They'll have all their links active once we get the super attack. Defense looking at 230k, which is alright, I guess. Obviously their evasion is disabled, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But we will get the extra 30% as well from good old Wirus. So tanking single digits, which is pretty good. And then we should have a pretty chunky attack stat as well to utilize, which is obviously quite a lot of fun. So yeah, overall pretty decent. 384k, not too bad. 7.9 million, really solid. Good attack stat, and yeah, overall everything went great. Crit as well, which is awesome. And yeah, that is pretty much everything you need to know. So really solid run overall. But yeah, that is pretty much going to be it from me. So obviously, guys, if you need any help or if you're struggling, you can leave a comment down below, ask some questions. Maybe you want some help with your teams, or maybe you're just struggling in general. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the video, please kindly leave a like on the video. It always helps me out a lot, because likes help the video get seen by people, pretty much. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. As always, take care, stay safe, and bye.